Hey there folks, this is Josh, Stoney Ridge Farmer. Welcome back to the farm. It's nasty, it's rainy, and now it's dark outside. So we're out here in the shop this evening and we're working on the Ventrac Tractor, and as you can tell, it's in pieces. So we have installed a 3-point hitch on the Ventrac Tractor, which is a total game changer. It takes this thing from a lawn type estate management tractor to a serious little farm tractor. So come along today as we finish installing the 3-point hitch, and we'll have a little bit of fun. I'll show you how it all works, and we're going to put together the top link, the hydraulic top link, and just have a little bit of fun working on the Ventrac together. All right? Woo!
I ain't afraid of work. I ain't afraid of play. I ain't afraid to get the job done and do it my own damn way.
First of all, guys, I want to welcome you to the farm. Welcome to the YouTube channel. If this is your first time to the Stoney Ridge Farm channel, thanks so much for coming. Please pound that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Lots more fun stuff like this to go here on the farm. So if you look around here, and we've got a Willis Jeep project going on right here. If you look around in the shop, you'll understand why we haven't been working on the Willis. There's just so much stuff in here that I can't get the Willis out to work on it. So we got to get this tractor out of here, and I've spent about 8 hours so far installing this 3-point hitch. We'll take you around and let me show you exactly what we did. But first of all, if you've never seen this, this is our Ventrac tractor. That is a 24.8 horsepower Kubota diesel engine in an all-American made tractor. We're going to be heading up to the Ventrac factory sometime soon so we can get a video in the factory and show you the actual American workers building it. So this is the 3-point apparatus, and basically it came in several sections. So this piece was a framework for all the arms to hang off of. So we took the old framework off, which held these weights, and we put this new piece of framework in place, and we installed our lift arms, and we hooked up our new hydraulic cylinders, which is, there's one right here for up and down. There are 2 rear remotes on here. And up front, we installed this valve system. So this is a new valve system for the Ventrac, and that controls all the stuff back on the 3-point hitch. So we had to route, or I had to route, all of these lines. There are 7 lines, hydraulic lines in there, and this is where the cup holder and tool holder would normally be. And this right here is the hydraulic oil cooler. So we had to unbolt from the hydraulic oil cooler and feed this valve, which feeds everything on the rear of this machine right here, including what's sitting over here in a pile, our hydraulic 3-point top link cylinder. Pretty awesome. So like I said, guys, I pretty much saved all the fun stuff for us to do today to put everything all back together and give this thing a try. I've already fired up the tractor and I've checked all my hydraulic connections. Then I left it. It's been in here for about a week, so I'll probably fire it up again, check those hydraulic connections, make sure I don't have any leaks. This was quite the arduous task. It was somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 hours with 2 people, so I'd say 8 hours of installation time for one person. So what we're going to be doing with this machine, and typically we've been mowing with it, we've been brush cutting with it, we've been grinding stumps with it, we've been landscaping with it, we've been pushing debris with it, and now we can put a cool little single bottom plow with it. That's going to be pretty neat to plow with the Ventrac. Now typically this thing has 8 wheels on it, so the 8 wheels stick way out, and this machine is designed basically to mow really steep banks. So our pond banks, sides of the road, all that stuff, that's what this machine is designed for. Now we're taking it to the next level. We're taking it to a full-on farm utility type machine. In other words, it's going to take the place of what a small like John Deere 1 Series tractor might take the place of. So it'll also take the place of what like a little Kubota B Series tractor might do. So what we've got to do is button up everything. I'll take you along as we button up all this stuff and show you how the innards work on this tractor. So while we were installing this valve, and this valve is probably the most expensive portion of this upgrade right here, while we were installing this valve, we dripped some hydraulic fluid down in this compartment. Now we don't want it to attract dust, so I'm going to wipe it out real good before I start reinstalling everything. You can see there's already a lot of dust. We probably vacuumed maybe half a 5-gallon bucket of dirt and dust out of this little compartment right here. And this is just basically right below, oh, here we are, right below the cup holder. So we're gonna slip this guy back in place, just like so. And then we're gonna bolt everything back up. So here's the problem with leaving something in the shop for a week after you took it apart. You start scratching your head. Now, how did that go? So there may be a little bit of head scratching going on in this video. I hope not. I believe that's not it. Oh goodness. Let's hope I don't make a boo-boo. I don't think I will. And all else fails, break out the instructions. One of the biggest bummers, I guess, about doing YouTube videos is if you're a music guy, if you like listening to music and you're shooting a YouTube video, well, give that one up. Don't want to copyright infringe on anybody. So here we are with only the sound of the wood stove and the rain. Let's take this guy back out. Figured something out just now. Slide this guy back together. Maybe. Come on, baby. Come on, there we go. Again, guys, we're gonna head to the Ventrac factory in a couple weeks, and you'll get to see these things on the assembly line. That'll be pretty cool. I think it's cool. Let me know down there in the comments if you think you'll enjoy something like that. I've never been to a tractor factory before, so it should be fun. Most all of the nuts are self-locking. In other words, they will not come loose. They're not a nylon nut, but I can't remember what the heck you call them. Guys, post a comment down there. It's a nut that you put on that you get about halfway through the bolt and it will not loosen. Snug it up that a bit. It's way easier to use an impact socket to take these hex head bolts out, but it's much better for the bolts to use an Allen wrench or hex wrench or whatever you want to call it. I've always called them an Allen wrench. Good deal. So we've got this all put back together and we're going to get our hydraulic top link and assemble it. Here's our hydraulic top link kit, and basically it comes with 2 plugs in here, 1 plug here, 1 plug here, and it comes with all the hardware and instructions that you need to hook it up. So we just need to figure out which one of these hydraulic connectors that we need to hook up to, and it probably says it right here in the instructions. All this stuff comes in 2 or 3 great big boxes if you order it, or when you buy your Ventrac, if you buy one of these tractors, you can just request the 3-point. I don't know why you'd buy it without the 3-point, especially if you're into farming or land management of any sort. So very, very simple. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. So the stationary portion goes back here to the back of the tractor, and the moving portion goes towards the implement. Very, very simple. And the first implement that we're going to put on here before we even put the plow on is a weight bar. We're going to put a weight bar across the back so that we can lift more weight safely with the high lift bucket. And you'll get that in a future video. We'll show you that, and we'll try and go in the factory and show you where the high lift bucket is made. I think it's called the Versa loader. So let's get busy. So the kit comes with 2 elbows, hydraulic elbows, 2 hoses that are labeled yellow and red, which would coincide with yellow and red back here on the back of the tractor. And let's see if they're both the same length. Yep, so they're both the exact same length, and these have little caps on them. All right, we're gonna just take 1 plug out at a time. This is the plug. If you've ever bought a hydraulic cylinder, you know they're pretty expensive. So you wanna be careful with this, and we don't wanna introduce any trash. And we'll bend down here and we'll get our elbow. Just lay it in our lap, grab our elbows. And this is the hydraulic elbow. And both of these, I do believe, yep, they're both identical, except for one doesn't have a cap. We'll pop all these caps off. Got some cleaning up to do, and then we'll just screw this right into our hydraulic cylinder. Careful not to lose the rubber O-ring. Got a little paint flaking off there. It's not really paint, it's powder coated. Everything on this tractor is powder coated, which I think is super awesome because it makes a huge difference. Careful to not cross thread. This is an expensive cross thread if you do that. Okay, we'll put this on, but leave it a little loose where we can move it with our hands, and then there's a set nut right here. So next thing we'll do is pull this plug. Actually, before we pull all that plug, let's just go ahead and put our line in place. That way we don't contaminate the system. This is the red line. We're just going to loosely install that. Everything will be loosely installed until we get it on the tractor and we see what angles we need this guy to be at in order to suit the tractor properly. Here is the second plug. Pop that guy loose. Grab the other elbow, which is in my other hand. Make sure we don't get any paint flakes in there. Gotta be careful. Your hydraulic system is the lifeblood of your tractor, especially a hydrostatically driven tractor like this. Okay, tighten that guy on. Here is our yellow hose. Very nice. Hydraulic top link is super duper awesome to have. I just can't say how awesome a hydraulic top link makes your tractor just so much more versatile, especially if you're using like a land plane or a box scrape or something like that. We had a 6-foot box scrape that we were going to use with this, but I happened to sell it because we've got a monster 10-footer that we're going to be doing a video on pretty soon. Show you how to set all that up. So this guy just goes right back here on the 3-point. Here's our pin on our 3-point. Be careful with these. These will blacken a fingernail in a heartbeat, no doubt. Tell me a story, guys. Who's had one blackened by a litch pin smacking your finger? No fun. There we go. Okay, you can see that's spinning freely, that's turning freely. But both of these lines have to go back to right here. There are 2 hydraulic fittings right here, so both of them have to go back without getting impeded or kinked. This one actually, oh man, I did a good job. I have come home from the tractor store where I had my tractor worked on before and had fittings not tight. So I'm pretty obsessive about making sure these fittings are very tight. Okay, you guys hear that rain? Doesn't like rain on a tin roof. That's country living. Cool. Now, you just have to hook them up. Slide that back, pop them into place. And this is a self-bleeding system, so it should bleed itself out. There we go. And that is our hydraulic top link. Okay, so we're wrapping this up almost, but I want to show you how the wheel system works on this. So this is set up where it'll take 8 wheels. In other words, 2 wheels butted up against each other. The way the tire and wheel setup is, it is a 5-lug wheel setup, and there is an air valve on both sides. So it could get a little bit confusing, and there's a little warning label I'll show you right here. See that little warning label down inside the wheel? There's a warning label that says this side of rim must face axle hub. Okay, so you can put it on backwards, and that's not a good thing. So we're gonna get these on here. We're gonna drop the mower down on the ground and tighten them up to 55 foot-pounds. And we've got our torque wrench right over here. These are extra long lugs. You can see the lugs are about that long. Pretty interesting. Like I said, not only is it a well-oiled machine, it's a very well-engineered machine. Everything has been thought of. Ventrac's been in business in one way or another for years and years. So lots of thought has gone into this machine before you got to it. If something doesn't seem right, it's probably There you go. It's probably your fault. This thing is dirty, man. I use my machinery. I don't let it sit in the barn. This thing's real dirty. My dad was giving me crap the other day. My John Deere is in the shop for a clutch. Well, it wasn't my fault. There was a rear seal that went bad on the clutch. My dad said, man, you put all those hours on those machines. He bush hogs about 30 acres, maybe twice a year, most of the time once a year. So he's probably on the tractor a total of 8 hours a year. So all of his tractors are from the 80s at the earliest. Most of them are from the 60s, and they have about 800 hours on them. I didn't buy it to let it sit, that's for sure. And we've got a lease on this Ventrac that's going to be up soon, so I'm trying to work out a purchase deal, because once you have one of these machines, there's just no way you can do without it. This is what you mount the second wheel with. So these lug nuts go on, then this slides over the studs, and another lug nut goes into here, just like so. And the other wheels are similar to like a knockoff wheel. So this plug, this is a little PVC plug, comes out, and that's what holds the second wheel in. So you just screw the wheel on kind of like an old school Corvette, like a knockoff racing wheel, and it works. Here goes. There's our hydraulic cylinder, in and out. Had to get a little bit of air out of there. There we go. Awesome. And our 3-point lift, up and down. There we go. Got to have a little weight on it to bring it up and down. There's down. Got to have a little break-in time. Awesome. Well, we got the Ventrac back together and working like a champ. Can't beat that. Super duper happy. I can't go do anything because it's pouring down rain and it's dark. It's Saturday night. 15 years ago, I would not be in my shop doing this, but I'd rather be doing this than I would be anywhere else, guys. Thanks a lot for joining me here on the Stoney Ridge Farm today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope now you understand a little bit about why I'm not on the Willis Jeep working on it right now. I've just got to get some of this clutter out of here, and that's one of the clutters that was in the way. So good to go. Look forward to some cool videos, trying out this 3-point hitch and seeing how she works and seeing how she pulls a plow. I'm going to dig down in the dirt with it and have some fun. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time on the Stoney Ridge Farm. Please pound that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you again. All right?
Well, come on down to the Stoney Ridge. Bring your wife and bring your kids. We're living life pure and sweet. That's the way it's supposed to be, Stoney Ridge.